Hello everyone. Today we'll be doing something very exciting. I'll be giving you a guide to Omniscience Draft, specifically Dominaria Omniscience Draft, which is online right now. So this has quickly become one of my favorite ways to play Magic, and the rules are simple. First, you draft normally 3 packs, and then you build a deck, 40 card deck, but the twist is you get to play spells from your hand without paying their mana costs, and you only have a starting hand size of 3, so you can mulligan down to 2, 1, and 0. So this obviously changes a lot. For starters, you don't need to play any lands in your deck, and you just get to play everything off your hand for free. And you also, if you want to use abilities, you get to add Wooburg per turn. So 5 mana, 1 of each color per turn. So let's take a quick overview of some strategies here. So for starters, let's look at the staples of the format. So here's how this works. So if you ever played Omniscience Draft, which has been online a couple times, I think maybe just once, with M19, it's a very powerful format, and it's quite a peculiar format as well. So some of the quirks are, anything that says draw a card is extremely powerful. So Divination is very powerful, you get to draw 2 for free, so kind of like Pot of Greed from Yu-Gi-Oh! So you have Divination, and the other very relevant card, it's not showing up here because you don't actually draw. I forgot the name right now. Bargain, I think it's called. Yeah, Dark Bargain. So Dark Bargain is the black Divination. You get to look at the top 3 cards of your library, and then you put 2 in your hand and 1 in the graveyard. So it's a draw 2, it's an instant. It's even better than Divination. So these are actually 2 of the most relevant commons, Divination and Dark Bargain. Those are some of the most important commons. Other cards that cycle tend to be good, like not insane. Like Divination is really good, but cards like Befuddle are better than most filler cards. Opt is pretty good because you actually get to see 2 cards. And then we get to the really powerful cards. Weight of Memory is a draw 3. It's basically one of the best cards of the set. And you have just cards that draw you a lot of cards are really good in the format. Also, a couple considerations. There is Memorial to Genius, which is a delayed Divination, and you have to spend all your mana per turn. It costs 5. And a couple other cards, such as Urza's Tome and Thaliid Soothsayer. So let's take a look at the pawns of the format. So, a couple of the pawns of the format, those would be the big commons that actually win you the game. So you have cards such as Feral Abomination, 6 mana 5/5 Death Toucher. That is a powerful pawn of the format. Obviously, those are all going to be high CMC cards. You also have Primordial Worm, which is comparable to that. But then we get to some more format-specific stuff. Oh, also one consideration that I haven't mentioned. Kicker costs, all additional costs, are not covered by the free spell clause. So you actually need to pay the kicker costs, any additional costs, with Wooburg mana. So in the case of Kaliyo Skinwitch, you get to cast it for free, and then you get to keep 1 mana from the Wooburg. So, a couple considerations of the format. Some really powerful cards, which are specific to the format. First is Final Parting. Final Parting is an amazing card. It's a free tutor that gets you the best card into your deck. And even then, there are a couple combinations that you can get with Final Party. You can get, for instance, a powerful creature and get Soul Salvage, and then you get to buy the creature back that you got and an additional creature that was already in your graveyard. And yeah, it's Final Parting is probably even better than Weight of Memory, the Draw 3. It's one of the best cards in the format. So another more format specific stuff that I wanted to mention. There is Cabal Paladin. It took me a while to get used to the card. It's actually a very important card. 4/2 is good because the 2 toughness, except for a couple exceptions, isn't that bad. And 4 power is okay, but what you really want out of it is its historic trigger. And why that is important, you get incidental damage, which is okay, just like a normal draft, but you actually get access to a couple infinite combos. So the basic combo is Guardian of Koilos. So with Guardians of Koilos and Cabal Paladin, what you do, you get a couple Guardians of Koilos on the battlefield, and you get to loop them over and over. Each time you cast them, you get to drain your opponent for 2. So yeah, this is I'm obviously covering commons and uncommons because those are the cards you're gonna see the most. And also you gotta work with what your bot opponents give you during the draft, because you will end the draft with 42 cards, and your deck will be 40 cards. You will never play any basics in this format, so you'll get to make 2 cuts. So each card you play has to be relevant. So cards like Charge or Mesa Unicorn, these are complete duds. So you gotta look for value for cards such as Adamant Will, things like that. Cards that actually do a thing in the format. So there are a couple cards like that. So I just want to take a quick look at the rares and mythic rares. So most rares and mythic rares are pretty good, but there are a couple that stand out. So a few that stand out. Karn's Temporal Sundering is completely insane. Karn's Temporal Sundering is the type of card that can get you a win on turn 1, for instance. And Karazov is one of the best pawns in the game because you just get to ping creatures every turn and make it big. It demands an answer pretty quickly, and it's also a rare, so you see it pretty often. It's also a bad rare, like in regular draft, so it will go kind of late. The bots are a bit of rare pickers, but it will go pretty late. Actually, all the legendary sorceries deserve, except for Lars' Ruinous Blast, all legendary sorceries are pretty powerful, and once you pick one of those up, you wanna prioritize legendary creatures. Primeval, Glorious Rebirth, and whatever the Kamal's Riddick file. Those are still exceptions. Those are garbage. Those are still garbage in the format. Although Glorious Rebirth is marginally playable. So, with that in question, let's take a look at what some successful decks may look like. I have a couple decks saved here. So, for the first deck, let's take a look at this. Just give me 1 second. Here is what we get. So, never mind. Okay, so here's what we have. We have a couple highlights of this deck. Dark Bargain, very powerful cards. We also have 1 Divination. That is a card draw. There are 2 Final Partings, which is insane. And our finishers are okay. 2 Karazovs are some of the best in the format. Thorn Elemental is really good. It gets over some of the 5/5s of the format. Things like that. And then you just gotta take a look at the filler as well. We have cards that cycle, such as Warlord's Fury. And one thing I didn't mention was counterspells. Counterspells are amazing because they get to stop the degenerate things your opponents are doing. So we have 1 Wizard's Retort and 2 Unwind. Cards such as Caligo, Skinwitch. Oh, Gitu Chronicler is also an amazing common that I haven't mentioned, and things like that. Everything in the deck has a little bit of a purpose in the format, such as Dredge Sentinel. It's obviously a card that you will not be happy to play, but it does a bit. Like, it will chump block, for instance, a Fair Abomination, which is probably the most common card in the set because it's a quote-unquote bomb that wheels. So, taking a look at that, we can make a run through a test draft, and let's see how we do applying those concepts in an actual Omniscience Draft. Let's see, what do we get here? Okay, Lyra is an okay start. It's not amazing by any means, but it's just good. It's a good card. And it's still the best card in the set. So a couple considerations here. We have Guardian of Koilos, which is part of the Infinite combo, but it's not a card that you want to early pick. Garnet is pretty good. Buying back creatures that you lost are pretty good. Caldon Overseer is really good. Being able to seal a creature from your opponent and bashing move it can definitely win you some games. And we also have the Cabal Paladin. So I believe we can wheel Caldon Overseer out of this pack. So we'll take Lyra here. Good old Lyra. Here we have, I would say, two cards that jump out. We have Garnet and we have Wizard's Retort. I'm not a huge fan of removal. Here's the thing about removal. Removal is good, but it's less good than in normal draft. So you end up playing very little of it because you don't want to take it as high as the bots want you to take it because it's not as important as in a normal draft. So Eviscerate is good. You can deal with some bombs. Like if your opponent plays Karazov, you are going to want to have removal for it. But here I'm actually deciding between Garnet. It can enable some early wins. It's hard to win on one with just Garnet, but theoretically you can go like Divination, Garnet, a bunch of dudes, and win. And Wizard's Retort, which is the Force of Will of the format. It just keeps our opponent fair, and it's really good. So this is worth the best card of your opponent. I'm actually gonna go with it. Instead of Garnet. I have found that it's hard to do well with too few counterspells. You just get hamstrung too much. This spec isn't really exciting. I have 3 candidate cards, Adventurous Impulse, which I don't really like because you cannot end up with a deck with very few creatures. Primordial Worm is okay. We're actually going to take Joda. Joda is good because flyers are actually pretty good in the format, and also legendary creatures have good synergies with, for instance, the the legendary sorcery cycle. So here I have Caldon Overseer, Memorial to Genius, and Slim Voda. We're gonna go with the Memorial to Genius. Also, quick note: Slim Voda is an amazing combo with Garnet because you get to play Slim Voda, bounce all blockers back to your opponent's hands, play Garnet, and attack with everything, and potentially win the game. I'm going to take Memorial to Genius, which, as I discussed, is a slow divination format. If I had Garnet, maybe I would take the Leviathan there. Here we start to get to the garbage of the set. Particle Wonder is a good pawn. When I mean pawn, I mean like a big and exciting creature. Mostly 6-mana creatures. Things like the quintessential pawn is the Pharaoh Abomination, the 6-mana 5/5 Death Sure. Have Rescue, which is okay. It has really good synergy with a couple bombs, such as Bells and Luck, and you get to protect your cards from removal, but it's not a high pick. It's just a garbage card that you can use pretty well. Nature Spiral is not as good as it looks. You mostly want to buy back instants and sorceries, not creatures. I'm just going to take... Oh. Okay, that was scary. I almost... the game just kind of picked for me. But that was the card I was going to pick. So here we start getting to the duds. There is Memorial to Folly and Fire Elemental. Memorial to Folly is a bit slow. Weak to Grave Hate as well. There isn't much of that. There actually is Gaia's Blessing, which is Grave Hate. I think I can just take a Fire Elemental here. Quick note about Blood Talocando. Don't pick it. You can't use it. It costs 6 mana to activate. So you cannot use that. So here we have Guardian of Koilos and Ancient Animus. I haven't played Ancient Animus too much. It is a fight card, so it's kind of bad against Pharaoh Abomination. I think I'm actually gonna go with Guardian of Coilos here. Try to get to the combo eventually. We're definitely missing divinations. We got no divinations and no dark bargains, which is very bad. So you want to prioritize those soon, especially picking up this Get to Chronicler here. So this is our pack 1. So what we wheeled was Cabal Paladin and Adventurous Impulse. We're going to take the Cabal Paladin. We're starting to look pretty good with Cabal Paladin here. Although I won't pick any of the cards high. So here we get to... This is pretty early to be making such a bad pick. It's very sad. I guess Stronghold Confessor. It costs actual mana, like to pay the kicker, but I think it's still probably the best card. Manus is kind of relevant. Here I'm gonna take, I think, Primordial Worm over Adventurous Impulse. Or I have so many creatures, maybe I can take Adventurous Impulse. It also has positive synergy with Gitu Chronicler, so we're taking that. Here we have a bunch of nothing. So the choice between the Elephant and Rescue. We have a Gitu Chronicler, so I guess I'll take a Rescue. Nature Spiral for sure, and a complete dud hit here, Charge. Radha isn't very interesting. You do get to get over the 5 mana restriction, which is some mild value out a couple cards, such as Fight with Fire. It's nice to have extra mana so you can kick it. And there also isn't much. It's basically between Radha and Befuddle. And I think Radha is actually pretty bad in the format. It's probably not going to be too interesting. I'm just going to take the Cycler here. I could also take another Adventurous Impulse and try to really build around a combo. Ooh, so this is a good pack. We have 3 very interesting cards. I believe Keldon Overseer can wheel, although it hasn't wheeled the last pack. So we have Flame of Keld, which is a bad divination. It's a delayed divination that you can't hold counterspells in your hand. There's also Memorial to Genius and Slimefoot. Initially, I thought Slimefoot would be pretty bad, but you get to make 1 token per cycle, so it actually works kind of like as a even better Force of Nature, I think it's the name, that you make a separate link per turn. So I'm actually excited to try out Slimefoot. I'm gonna go with it, even though I think maybe one of the delayed divinations is better. Ooh, and this is nice. We have a lot to unpack here. We have In-Bolus Clutches, which is powerful 2 for 1. You just get to seal a bomb. Like, say you steal a Karazov, that's pretty sweet. And there's also Garnet. Garnet's looking interesting, but I think In-Bolus Clutches just being a 2 for 1 is the pick here. We don't have much here. There's Tiana and Particle Plunderer. I'm not aware of any combos with Tiana in the set. Actually, since you only get it on the end step, I'm actually sure there aren't combos. So it's basically the choice between Tiana and Academy Drake. Academy Drake is a bigger flyer, and flyers are actually pretty good in the format. They're serviceable. But the disadvantage is that Academy Drake actually costs mana. I think I'm gonna go with Academy Drake here. Blink of an Eye is a cycler, and you also get to answer a couple stuff, and maybe you really use a couple ETBs. I think it doesn't really combo with Get to Chronicler because you have to spend mana. So yeah, I think it's the best card here by a lot. The turtle is actually not great. Oh, look, it's the best card in the set. It's Final Party. It's nice because we have a couple combo pieces. We're still missing a second Guardian of Coilos to have a win condition, so we'll actually prioritize it a lot now that we have Final Party. It's a shame that we can't get Dark Bargain here, but Final Party is just better. Just drawing the card you want is very powerful. Heard we have a little bit of nothing. It's basically between Animus and Fire Elemental. We don't have a lot of Death Touchers, so Animus might not be that exciting, I think. Maybe just Fire Elemental here. We have the best Cycler in the set. We have Gaia's Blessing. We'll take that. Not much. We're gonna go with Divest. Divest is okay when you're on the play, but don't overestimate this card. It's just bad most of the time. Most times in this format, your opponent is gonna be empty-handed, and if they have something in the hand that they passed the turn with, it's probably not gonna be a creature. So here we'll take Force of Will. Just negate, basically. Not much. Here we have the choice between Windgrace Acolyte and Adamant Will. We don't have too much graveyard synergy. We actually have the card that you draw 2 creatures from your graveyard. That would be an excellent pickup for us. It would enable some Final Party and Cabal Paladin combos. Also Nation Spiral, that's pretty cool. So I don't know if I want to protect my creatures or just stick Windgrace Acolyte. We have a couple flyers already, so Windgrace Acolyte might be good. I think I'm gonna take it. We don't have much that we would want to protect, so do we have a use for Tragic Poet? Not really. We have 1 in Bolus Clutches, but I think I'm still just gonna take the biggest creature here. 4 power is okay in this format. Here we have a lot of nothing. I'll take Tragic Poet over Knight of New Banali, I think. I think both are pretty dead. Screw it, I'll take the biggest one. Elephant is not a bad last pick. So, Gilded Lotus. It actually does something because I can play Gilded Lotus and then I have 8 mana per turn, so that's double Slimefoot activation. But I'm just conjecturing here. Divination is much better than Gilded Lotus. Gilded Lotus is like a great card if I sidelight last pick. It's vaguely playable, so we'll take Divination. And it's nice that is one of our first divinations, maybe our first. And here I have Weight of Memory. That is great. That is a Final Parting Target. It's a really, really good card. So mostly what am I looking for here? I'm looking towards finishing my combo, so second Guardians of Quellos would be nice, and I'm looking towards recursion, cards that can get creatures from my graveyard to my hand. So here we're taking Weight of Memory. And there we go, Soul Salvage. Soul Salvage is amazing synergy with Final Parting. Now we're actually pretty close to being able to combo consistently, kind of. There's Deep Freeze, which is okay removal, but yeah, Soul Salvage is good here. Not much. Nature Spiral is bad. I think I'm just gonna take the Memorial. It digs pretty deep. Man, now I want the second Guardian of Quellos so freaking much. Do we have any other combos of Guardian? I don't think we do. We basically need another historic card that can bounce Guardians to our hand. I don't think there's another combo with it. So what do we have? Oh, if it was historic. Wow, Curator's Wand is so bad. Even in this format where you play anything that says draw 2 cards. We'll just take the Pawn of Her Abomination. I could rare pick Marwyn here. I'm just gonna go with Fair Abomination. There isn't much here. Excavation Elephant is okay. Divest. I have already spoken about Divest. This is pretty bad. Let's take Divest here. And now I'm starting to lose hope on the Guardian of Quellos. It would have to be right on this bag. And we didn't get there. Very, very, very sad. Wild Onslaught could be interesting. I mean, the boards don't tend to gum up that much. I think I'm just gonna take the sideboard here. So it's pretty sad that we didn't get the Cabal Paladin combos. So I'm actually kind of worried as to how we're winning most games. Fire Elemental. We'll see how we do. We have a mediocre deck, I would say. We have very few card draw spells, but we have a couple good ones, so maybe we'll get lucky. Wow, now we're getting to Stone Cold Nothing. Even Sentry. Sorry, there's a bit of lag with my program and OBS. Oh wow, this might be the first time I play Curators 1. I like it more than Healing Grace. But I'm actually probably not going to play it. It will probably be a cut. So yeah. One reason why I'm so hesitant to rare pick in this format because how I already discussed, you only get 2 cuts per deck. So you want your things to be good, you know? So Curators 1 goes okay with Lyra. So it might not be the cut. It's either Knight of Dominaria, Rescue. Rescue is actually pretty mediocre here. Can Guardian of Quellos target itself? No, it cannot. So yeah, I think this is mostly it. I'm not too excited about the deck, but maybe we'll run into not so powerful decks and we'll do okay. It's definitely not the nuts. We got just past very few divinations and dark bargains overall. And yeah, it just happens sometimes, but we'll try to make the best of what we got here. So yep, up against match number 1 with Boom Titanium. This hand is absolute garbage, so it's a point that we can discuss mulligans. So in this format, mulliganing really hurts you. And this hand does something, and our deck is not amazing. Also, I should have screenshotted the deck. You always want to have a full notion of what is in your deck, especially in this format. In draft usually, but in this format, extra. So there isn't a 100% complete dead card like Dredge Sentinel is an infinite chump blocker. And yeah, so we could be okay. Opponent already has 1 piece of the common combo, so I mean, hopefully we don't get killed turn 1. So yeah, it seems like people are quickly getting keen to the format. Okay, this is an okay draw. So basically we're playing just a whole bunch of dorks and trying to win that way, but that wall's gonna make that plan kind of difficult. And we can use Nature Spiral to our advantage, attack with Fire Elementals, and buy them back. So we have a very vanilla game, but our opponent isn't doing anything too degenerate as well. Oh well, scratch that. Opponent's going up to 3 cards, and we might just lose a game here. Start getting out of our hands, because yeah, our deck is kind of pretty bad. Polar, so we take another 2 from Cabal Paladin. Adventurous Impulse, you know. So yeah, I wonder if I should take Guardian of Coilos higher than what I'm taking. My guess is not. It's just not. I'm never taking it over a Divination, but I probably should be taking it over like Feral Donations, things like that. And yeah, opponent, I don't see them. Yeah, they shouldn't attack. They're just held back by Dredge Sentinel, so they'll just pass. Hope to draw Weight of Memory. But our deck is pretty good. Our deck's pretty big, so our chance is not great. So, do we have attacks here? I think we kinda do. They get 1 free block with the wall, but I guess we can attack with 2 elementals. That seems okay to me. Yeah, the Dredge Sentinel, they can just block with Polar, so that's not doing anything. So we'll see. Will they trade the Cabal Paladin for a Fire Elemental? They will. So yeah. It's good news is Fire Elemental pairs well against Excavation Elephant. So I'm actually gonna buy back Fire Elemental, I think. Just try to stay winning on the board, and yeah, we can even help that plan with Wizard's Retort. Whatever our opponent does to try to stop this, we can counter. And Wizard's Retort is pretty good to have on a board that you're winning. Although winning is a strong term for what's going on here. We're mostly even because they'll get to double block with Halara and Elephant if they want to. I'm still not stopping it. Oh, so they're kicking it to trigger Halar. That is interesting. Halar triggers even if I counter it, so no reason to counter it. So yeah, I actually missed that interaction. Halar is interesting. A lot of the good cards in the format are kicker cards, such as Caligo Skinwitch, things like that. Caligo Skinwitch, I haven't talked about her too much, but it's pretty good. You can get to tutor if you say you have Final Party in hand and a good card, you get to like play Final Party, play the Witch to Mind Rot your opponent, and just play our good card, and you're probably winning. Befuddle is pretty good. So we'll target one of their creatures. It gets blown out by rescue, but targeting one of our own gets blown out by removal. I think I'm actually gonna target my own creature. Okay, Adventurous Impulse, that's pretty good. Maybe Lyra. Lyra would be the nuts here. Lyra plus Counterspell is good. We'll take Joda, Flying Attacker. Joda is pretty sweet here. Again, sorry for the program's not running too well. Thanks for bearing with it. So yeah, we'll play Joda here. And start to try to beat this board saw. And I would call this a board saw. I can offer to trade for Halar, but I don't think I want to. Sure, Halar will remain relevant throughout the game, but it needs to get up to 5 too. I mean, it needs to go over 5 for it to really be a problem besides the pinging. So yeah, opponent still has a lot of cards in hand. I wonder what those are. Okay, so Haphazard Bombardment. They get to ping, ping, ping. No, that is too much. That is gonna be a 2 for 1. No, there is a 3 for 1. So yeah, we can't have that happen. So that's gonna force our counterspell. Now we're shields down, but they shouldn't have anything too interesting. They obviously, not too obviously, because we didn't have 4 permanents, but they probably drew this turn. Do we have an artifact? I don't think so. We might actually hold on to this elephant. We have like 3 artifacts in our deck, and the elephant isn't really adding to the board. We might get punished with a discard spell, such as Divest or Caligo Skinwitch, but I think I'll take that risk. Losing an elephant isn't... Just as playing the elephant isn't too relevant, losing the elephant isn't the end of the world as well. We'll just pass, try to get... Maybe we can get some value out of it. Like Final Parting, we can Final Parting, get a great card, and get an artifact for the graveyard. And that's gonna win them the game. Oh, it actually isn't. It does nothing. I'm just used to Black Blade giving like +7/+7. It does Stone Cold nothing. And yeah, this is why rare picking does have a big cost in the format. Like, this is literal nothing. Okay, I wonder what they might have. Combat tricks, the most played combat trick is Adamant Well. So I don't really want to block with multiple creatures. Actually, let's do it like this. This here and this here. Now we don't get blown out by Arbor Armament. And yeah, I like this. This is okay. We'll quote-unquote regenerate Rudge Sentinel here to save us from this combat. And yeah, if I get to trade for Halar, that's good. Okay, Healing Grace. Oh, that also gets played once in a while. That's fine. Yeah. So yeah, we get to trade that Healing Grace for my Fire Elemental. That is okay. Guess yeah, that is one card that you would hold on to. Okay, so Lighter Dawnbringer. That is nice. I'm gonna attack with Joda first. I could attack with everything. I get to get in for 2 additional damage. So if I hit them now to get to 13, yeah, if they get down to 11, it's not that big of an advantage. I'll just attack with Joda. Now, play Lyra. And I'm also gonna play the Elephant. I kind of regretted not playing it last turn. Because, see, they made a big attack, and I could have punished them for it if I had the Elephant. So I'll just leave it on the board. It's just very unlikely. It's mostly final parting that would give me value out of the Elephant. Okay, that is terrible news for us, but we cannot stop that. And that bombardment has a good chance of winning them the game. We'll need to draw pretty well to beat it. Also, they might just get pretty unlucky. I mean, there is a limit to how unlucky you can get with Haphazard Bombardment. Mostly I want them to take the good cards last. But if I get to keep Lyra for a couple turns, I'll probably still win this game over Bombardment. So, yeah, hopefully they miss Lyra and Joda and just hit my Elephant. I'll take Fire Elemental as well. So if you don't know how this card works, it's right here. So it basically destroy 3 permanents of the 4 marked at random at a rate of 1 per turn. Okay, so here I'm just gonna block Red Sentinel. I don't want to risk losing these creatures. I could double block it or just block it with Fire Elemental, but if they're attacking like this, they have a trick, so I just want to protect my creatures, because if I lose one of these, it's a higher chance that Lyra and Joda are going to get killed in the process. Okay, so there goes Bombardment, and yeah, okay, that is one of the good targets for us. And now we have Negate in our hands, unwinding, so we're actually doing pretty well. And this is good because we're winning on the board and we get to stop them from stopping us. And yeah, counter spells are really the cards that you want to have at the start of the game to stop your opponent from doing something dumb, or when you're winning on the board, so you can ensure our victory. I feel like our victory is pretty ensured, because now even if they destroy Lyra or Joda, we still get to kill them, so they'll need a flying attacker. This is a card that I haven't thought of pretty much in the format, but I guess it's kind of annoying. But we still get to attack, I guess. It just hampers our mana a little bit for kicker cards and things like that. So here, same deal. I'll just take 4 from Halar and block the Elephant. Mostly I don't want to lose my Elephant. Blessing of Bells Unlock. Ooh, okay. So yeah, this is where Unwind comes into play. We stop them from gaining life, and now we have a deterministic win. Unless we can't pay for Baird because the system works weird, but I'm sure it will work out okay. I have played against Baird. It's not a confusing system, really. So yeah, we'll just attack with our Flyers or Flyer. And yeah, Joda still does the trick. Okay, so just attack with Joda. And yeah, attack with Joda. And when it asks you to pay anything, just click the button so you add that mana up. So yeah, that is game number 1. It was, I would call it a really low power level game on both sides. Mostly, we had a couple counter spells, so we kind of hampered them a little bit on the on this game. But the format can definitely go over the top of that, of what you have seen there. There are turn 1 wins, things like that. There's a lot of broken stuff going on. So we're up against V9497. And we'll see what we do. We're on the draw. Bad news for us, but the good news is we have a very good hand. We have Joda, and then we get to play Gaia's Blessing, draw a card, play Get to Chronicler, draw a card. So they have Joyra. Can they use it? If they get a couple draws of... Ooh, and that is rough already. Yeah, Joyra is an interesting card of the format. I have played against it already. Yeah, it's pretty good. Just... You already tend to pick highly cards that are legendary creatures, because they enable a couple synergies. So if you get a Joyra late, you'll probably have a lot of stuff to draw off of it. So just play Gaia's Blessing. I'll shuffle nothing. Just cycle the Gaia's Blessing. You can hold on to it as Grave Hate. Ooh, Final Party, that is nice. Final Party is incredible right now because we get to put Weight of Memory in the graveyard and use Get to Chronicler to buy it back. So this might be our ticket for our win here. Hopefully this resolves. Okay. So the question is, Weight of Memory is going to our graveyard for sure. What is going on in our hand? Maybe we just... How's the graveyard? Oh, how's the battlefield? I have a plan. I'm gonna take in Bolus Clutches. It's the greedy play. I could take a counterspell, really. But I'm gonna go for the greed here. So, Clutches to my hand. Clutches Joyra. Okay. Play Joda and draw a card. Ooh, that is so nice. Play Slimefoot and draw a card. Yeah, what's better than having your Joyra is having your opponent Joyra. So we drew Unwind, very nice. Now our victory is pretty much ensured. And that is what the format is all about to me. It's these broken plays. Final Party, one of the best cards in the set. Just take Weight of Memory here. And Ancestral. Milling ourselves. Milling our opponent is mostly giving them resources, so we don't want to do that. We'll just keep playing things here. Looking for a legend. Oh, nice. We'll get to draw another card off of Joyra. Let's discard just to see what's up there. Wow, we even get to take a card. Poor opponent. And yeah. Yeah, that was a broken turn. Yeah, that is why Final Party is the best card in the set. Probably. I think it's probably top 5 of the format. It's definitely the best common and uncommon. Even better than Weight of Memory. It's just very, very good. So yeah, that was a fun game. That is why I like Omniscience Draft so much. It's just, it feels kind of like vintage. You get to do completely unfair and bonkers stuff. I mean, Weight of Memory just becomes 0 mana Ancestral, so that's all pretty fun. Hopefully we'll draw a good hand such as that. Like Final Party and Get to Chronicler is an amazing combo. Instead we get kind of a garbage hand, but it's all functional. There are no charges here, so yeah, we'll just keep this. We have a Slow Divination, a Dork, and Red Sentinel. Opponent is starting off the game with a double Divination. So yeah, this is gonna be a hard one to beat. And yeah, obviously in this format, being on the play is really, really good, and being on the draw is pretty bad. So that is another reason why counterspells are so important to the format, because there are something that you can do on turn 1. Like, say I countered their divination, things would be better for me right now. So yeah, that's why I picked that. I picked the whatever Wizard's Retort. I picked it so highly because you just get to interact as soon as possible. And look at it, it's the card I picked in the draft. It's in my hand now. So I'm actually pretty excited about this hand. Urza's Tome, it's mostly card filtering for them. They don't get to draw for free off of it. Urza's Tome is pretty good. It's really, really good. But it's not as good as it might look. It's actually worse than Divination. Just something to keep in mind. In my opinion, in my experience, Urza's Tome has been quite worse than Divination, and obviously quite worse than Dark Bargain. So Warlord's Fury, we don't counter cantrips. We'll just let that resolve. Get to Chronicler, it buys back Divination and is a body, so we can't have that. So we're trying to counter Get to Chronicler. They might have an unwind, they don't. And the good news is they already spent their mana, so they can't Urza's Tome this turn. So yeah, actually Urza's Tome is pretty mana hungry, is what do you see playing it? It's a little bit clunky with kicker cards, for instance, things like that. So how's the board looking? Okay, we have our Memorial to Genius, almost forgot. So we'll crack that for 2. I like Slimefoot here. We don't get to activate it this turn because we already spent our mana. Also, it's kind of awkward because with Memorial to Unity, but it's all fine and good. So we'll just divest here. They'll probably have nothing. When you're holding on to a creature, it's usually a kicker creature. Okay, Rescue. I'm glad that we countered that Get to Chronicler. Rescue plus Chronicler is a pretty good combo. So yeah, Slimefoot might win us the game here. I don't think we'll attack. We'll just play Slimefoot and pass. During their turn, we get to make a Saproling. Opponent's probably gonna loot end of turn. Probably gonna pitch that Rescue. Oh, I believe they forgot. If they chose not to draw, I think that's just a mistake. Yeah, you gotta remember that you get mana both during your opponent's turn and during your turn. And that is a good tip right there. You get to activate your emblem once per turn. So they have a flyer, that is annoying. But yeah, Slimefoot is good to have. We might just be able to win off of the back of Slimefoot. One awkward thing is we don't get to play activate Slimefoot and activate Grudge Sentinel, but our opponent doesn't force us to, so we'll just get a free Saproling here. My turn, please. Yeah, Joda's nice. We'll crack Memorial to Unity, see what we find. Good, guys, Protector. Also, we're bottoming really good cards. That is a bit of a bummer. If we get the opportunity to shuffle, I'm not sure if our deck can do that, but I'll take it if we get it. So yeah, we'll just play it out our hand and Pester. And yeah, Slimefoot can beat Tiana. Also, Tiana can't really attack because of Joda. It's not a blocker, but it can attack back. So yeah, we're gonna start making 2 Saprolings per turn cycle, but they get to Chronicler, and that's gonna be pretty good. They get to buy back Dark Bargain, and they're gonna get a lot of value out of it. Sure. Yeah, it is a pretty silly format, but I really, really like it. If you haven't played M19, it was actually way more degenerate. You had you had 2 uncommon draw 3s, you had Sift and Blood Divination, and also you had some pretty bonker rares, such as Liliana's Contract was, oh god, opponent, please stop. Opponent has more divinations than I've ever had. So yeah, the format had Divination, Savager of Secrets, It's like a card that you play and you get an instant and sorcery back. Savagers of Secrets was a big part of the format. And yeah, it was mostly a lot higher power level. And also the other fun portion is you had a lot of counter spells. Like in this set, you mostly have Wizard's Retort, which is an uncommon, so you don't get to play with it too often. And you also have Syncopate, which doesn't actually work because you always, the most you can pay for X is 5, and your opponent can always pay for X 5. So yeah, that is a bit of a bummer in Dominaria. But in M19, you had Essence Carrot for creatures, Bone to Ashes for creatures, and Cancel at common. So you had a whole bunch of counter spells. So the format was actually surprisingly interactive, and that's gonna sound silly, but it really felt like kind of playing Vintage. Your opponent was trying to win on turn 1, you were trying to win on turn 1, and yeah. It was really fun, and what hasn't really happened to me here, opponent's deck is sick. Look at this, it's just cantrips and divinations. But yeah, how you usually want, you would usually draw your whole deck. And that is one of the most fun things in the format. Usually in this format, when you win, it's like off of a Cabal Paladin combo, off of Garnet plus Leviathan, or Karn's Temporal Sundering. Just a reminder, Karn Temporal Sundering, it's not a mythic, it's a rare, so... And Karn Temporal Sundering really is the card to win on turn... Oh, crap, okay. Oh boy. I think we probably had enough. I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing, but another reason to keep playing, you get to see what the format is kind of about, because our opponent's really going off here. And yeah, they just played one of the best cards in the set, which is Karn Temporal Sundering. And that is a reason why you want to pick Legends so highly. Because of cards such as Karn's Temporal Sundering, you just want to have all the Legends, because you don't want to have it dead in your hand. You just want to get it out, hopefully on turn 1, and just win. And yeah, this is the nuts of the format, I would say. This is one of the few cards that I would call better than Final Parting. There goes Final Parting. Dude, what is our opponent's deck? It's just completely insane. And yeah, if you want a guide to Dominaria's draft, just open all of this. Just pick all of this. Infinite Divinations. This is 4 Divinations. But yeah, I just gotta respect my opponent. This deck is sick. But yeah. Thing is, oh, what are they doing? Oh, look at that. That is so cool. I think that combos. Oh man, that is so cool. Yeah, you just loop Garnet over and over. That is really, really cool. Props to our opponent. So yeah, really cool. And that is a combo I actually didn't know about. It is 2 uncommons, but Garnet plus Garnet apparently is a win with Cabal Paladin. Really cool. Our opponent deck is just really sick, so yeah. This was definitely a highlight for sure. You mostly get to see the nuts deck of the format. You just had 4 Divination, get your Chronicler's Final Parting, a couple good rares. If you had Karn's Temporal Sundering, the best rare. So yeah, really good stuff. We're mostly playing the deck that you can always get. When you don't get the nuts, you get a bunch of big dorks and all the card draw you can find, which was really little in our case. But yeah, we'll just play our hand, and beating 4 cards with this hand might be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll see if our opponent doesn't play any flyers, and maybe we'll also get lucky. We'll start off with a Befuddle on Joda. Yep, big Baloth Gorger, not the best card in the set, but a good pawn. I'll usually not take it as highly enough to get it. Okay, so Curator's Wand is okay. The problem is, okay, so Particle Wonder is historic. So I can put it on Joda to protect Joda. But I'm actually gonna go a different direction. Removal in this format is not that important. So I'm gonna put it on Pardic Wanderer, and if they want to attack me, I'll draw 2 cards. So this is mostly functioning as a delay. Oh god. Okay. And yeah, wow, Sarah Angel. I think I haven't seen one Sarah Angel so far, because it's a card that people just don't pass. I mean, in this case, bots don't really pass, and it's not a good card. Like, it's better than Feral Abomination, but the question is, it's just not a card you want to high pick. And the card, it doesn't get late, so it's not a card really in the format. But yeah, I'll put in place Soul Salvage, and they're just outvaluing us here. We're gonna need to get pretty lucky here. Good news is we'll actually get to draw 2 cards. So we have some room to get lucky here. In Bolus Clutches plus a Legend would be a nice start. Guardian of Coilos. Guardian of Coilos just makes me sad because we almost had the combo. But yeah, what I'm actually gonna do here is I'm gonna buy back my shitty divination and try to use it again. Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Put it here. Oh, I made a mistake. I should have put curate. Yeah, that was a mistake. I forgot how Curator's Ward worked. The card doesn't need to die. You really just needs to leave the battlefield. So yeah, that was a mistake. I should have put it on Joda, then play Guardians, and I would get an immediate divination. So yeah, bad move on my part. The question is, do I put it on Joda or do I put it on Koilos? I don't think it's too relevant. I'll put it on Joda so they just don't get to attack me for free. Say I put it on Guardian, they can just attack me with their flyers. Board the Weatherlight. This is a card that I don't really have an opinion about. I don't think it's a card that you pick highly, but maybe it's obviously better than a card such as Calvin Warclore, which is just good. And yeah, this game is pretty close to over. I'm pretty sure they can just attack me. And yeah, Muldrotha is another good combo with Cabal Paladin. Cabal Paladin, this was really the surprise card of the set for me, and I'm just gonna see. So yeah, Cabal Paladin has been the surprise card of the set for me. I just thought it was bad, but it actually has really good synergies and actual combos with commons and uncommons of the set. So yeah, our deck is not exciting, but maybe we can get a couple more wins in, so we can get a couple more gems. But yeah, this event will go on until, I believe, the end of Sunday. So if you still want to play it, you should play it pretty soon. Okay, this hand's kind of bad. We'll keep. It has a cycler and a couple flyers, as I mentioned. Ooh, that is annoying. So we'll lose Windgrace Acolyte. And yeah. Too bad we weren't on the play. And that is Varric's Bladewing. We get to kill their token, so not the end of the world by any means. So we'll do it at the end of their turn, so we get to have more mana during our turn because this does cost 2 for us. So yeah, just kill a dragon and draw a card, and things look okay. Yeah, what can I say? This looks okay. Well, we're just mostly baiting out counter spells. That's why we're playing in Bolus Clutches last. And when I mean counterspell, I mean Wizard's Retort is the only universal counterspell in the set, I believe. So yeah, now we have the board. So we'll see if our opponent gets to draw a ton of cards and win. If they don't, we'll have them dead in 2 turns. And yeah, nice. And Bolus Clutch is proving to be pretty good. It's one of the best cards in. It's like top 10 or top 5 in Dominaria Draft, and still pretty good in Omniscience Dominaria. So yeah, good for us. We got to win on the draw, which especially when you don't have the great deck is very good news. I mean, you do have the benefit of having one extra card, and when your starting hand is 3, having one extra card is actually a pretty good bonus, so that's nice. And yeah, this is the game we win here, I think. It's a bummer that we don't have the combo for Cabal Paladin. I think we could actually get it pretty easily. But yeah, we'll just try to win here. We don't get to win on turn 1, but we do get to win a lot. We do get to do a lot. It's a shame we don't have Caligo's Skin Wench. That might be a good target for Final Party. But anyways, we'll just lead on with our worst play, see what we can get. It's nice to draw cards before Final Party. Ooh, that is really nice. We even get to protect our Final Party. So, what are our options here? Weight of Memory is probably one of the best cards in our deck. Slimefoot is okay. I think we can take Weight of Memory, and we can either put a... Do we have Soul Salvage? I don't remember. I think we should have... Oh, it's right here. So we get to play... We get to get Weight of Memory, and let's just put a creature in our graveyard. You have a couple options. You can mostly put bad cards in your graveyard. You can also just put creatures that you can buy back. We have a couple cards that can buy back creatures. So we'll just put a good card in our graveyard. Not the best, because we mostly want to draw our best. So let's just put Particle Wanderer in our graveyard. So yeah. And we're in a good position to win this game, I believe. Our opponent's going to need to have a lot going on. Oh god, so much lag. Please don't skip my turn. Now we have a lot of counters. Oh, this is just degenerate. So Salvage is gonna buy back Get to Chronicler and whatever, Particle Wanderer. Get to Chronicler buys back Weight of Memory. We could also get the Tutor, Final Party, but I think we'll just get Weight of Memory. We already have 2 counter spells in hand, so I think we can just overwhelm our opponent with raw card advantage. And those were good draws. Just play out our creatures. Oh god, so much delay. I'm sorry. My program really hasn't been running too well with OBS. So we'll target ourselves. Shuffle powerful cards back in. This plus Weight of Memory. I don't want to shuffle any creatures because we do have So Salvage. We get another counter spell, and yeah, we're not losing this game. And we just have a 2-turn clock, I believe. Maybe even a 1-turn clock. Oh, we have a 1-turn clock, so yeah. We'll just counter whatever our opponent plays and hit him for lethal. And yeah, that is a way that our opponent could actually win the game, but thankfully we do have... Oh, that is sick! That is sick. We get to use this 1 turn sooner. I'll let Adventure to Simples resolve. I can counter whatever they get if it's relevant, and it's probably not going to be relevant. Nope, Sentinel, Port of Trident, not relevant. Chainer's Torment, we don't care about that. It does theoretically slow down our clock, but we can draw historic cards to ping our opponent for lethal. Guardians of Quelos. Let's crack this and see what we get. We might just want to counter it so we can win as fast as possible. Oh, that is sick. Get your Chronicler. Okay. I think I'm going to counter it. We'll get you Rescue, get your Chronicler. Yeah, our opponent's in big trouble. And yeah, that was one of the best possible starting hands for us. So yeah, we really got you play with our deck this game. So yeah, I'll move on to match number 7. 5 wins, especially with a deck that I'm not too excited about. It's pretty good because we don't have too many good cards. So basically, to win, we have to have a final party in hand. That is a good start. Also, that there was that game where our opponent didn't have much. The one that they played IFS and played Varix. They didn't have much, and we had better. This is close. We have 1 dead card in our hand, 2 okay cards. I think I'm just gonna mulligan. And that is worse, but at least we get to scry. Guy's Blessing, we'll bottom then. But yeah, I have actually... Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, that will kill a mulligan. I think we lost this one, but I won't concede because we might just draw final party and win. So, oh, okay. So if I were my opponent, I would probably get Wizard's Retorts and just play like a whatever 5/5 they have in hand and win. They might go more broken with final party, so we'll see what they do here. Yeah. But yeah. This is basically the format. A lot of draw cards. You really want to have at least one of these in your deck. Good news, this is actually that's actually a really bad card in Dominaria regular draft. You don't want to pay 5 for a tutor. You don't want to pay 4 for a tutor. So Final Party is a pretty bad card. It doesn't tend to wheel, but it goes pretty late. You can get it like 6 pick, I think. So yeah, and you basically never want to pass this card. It's really good. It might just be the best card in this set, possibly. Maybe Karn's Temporal. I actually like this more than Karn's Temporal Sundering because Karn's Temporal Sundering does have pretty big conditions to it. It's not free by any means. So, oh boy. Yeah, let's see if they tutor the counterspell. And that is a good game. So yeah, opponent played pretty well, and they have a good deck. So yeah, it was my pleasure to show you this incredibly silly format, and I just had it. I've been having a ton of fun with it. I really like the Omniscience Draft. I hope they do another edition pretty soon, another set pretty soon, because each set is like a mini puzzle that you get to find all sorts of broken interactions with the Omniscience emblem. So yeah, we'll just open our pack, and thanks for tuning in. I hope you have fun possibly playing broken decks in the format. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.